Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nerds of the Multiverse channel. Today we'll be discussing my reactions to episodes 1 and 2 of the new Disney Plus show, Marvel's Secret Invasion. Before we get into today's video, make sure to go check out my other social media pages. I'm on TikTok at Nerds of the Multiverse, Twitter at Nerds of the Mult1, and Instagram at the Nerds of the Multiverse. Now, let's get into today's video. Starting off with episode 1, we are in present-day Moscow. We see Agent Everett Ross taking a phone call, and when he hangs up, he heads to a secret location. He tosses his phone and pulls out his gun. He meets up with Agent Prescott, who informs him on his suspicions that Skrulls have invaded Earth and how nobody can be trusted because anyone could be one. This sets up a huge theme for the show, that nobody can be trusted. Prescott begins speaking of multiple terrorist attacks all around the world that look like single acts, but he believes they are all connected, and they are all Skrull attacks. Prescott recaps the events of Captain Marvel and brings up how Carol Danvers and Nick Fury promised to find the Skrulls a new home, and they have not delivered on their promise. He asks Ross where Fury is, and he says he is on Saber. This is the space station that we see in the trailer for the Marvels, and it could be where Fury was in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Far From Home. Prescott is on to Ross and attacks him. Ross kills him and calls in an extraction from Maria Hill. He is chased by who we come to find out is Talos, and he dies falling off a roof, and it is revealed that he is a Skrull. This has us questioning how long has Agent Ross been being impersonated. We then go to the opening title sequence, which was completely designed by AI. There has been a lot of controversy regarding the opening sequence, but I personally love it. I think this is so visually pleasing, I love the music, and I think it goes along with the theme of an invasion because many people think we're going to be taken over by artificial intelligence one day. We then see Nick Fury returning to Earth for the first time in who knows how long. He appears to be very rugged looking, and he's not wearing his eye patch. Samuel L. Jackson has commented on that, saying the eye patch represents strong Nick Fury, and now he is more vulnerable. Fury reunites with Talos and Maria Hill, and he gets filled in on an upcoming bombing attack that is led by the leader of the council, Gravik. This bombing is intended to look like it was from the Americans to cause a war between the US and Russia. We cut to Rhodey informing the president of Nick Fury's return to Earth. Fury goes on a walk and multiple people are watching him. They are Skrulls watching his every move. Fury gets picked up and is taken to the MI6 leader, Sonya Falsworth. Fury plants a camera in her office to gain future intel. We transition to New Skrullos, where there is a newcomer who is seeking a home where he can be in his own skin. Gaia, who is Emilia Clarke's character, picks him up. We see some of the humans the Skrulls have captured, who they use to steal their faces and their memories. Gaia is sent to retrieve the bombs for the attack. Fury, Hill, and Talos head there as well to get the bombs first. There is an art dealer who is really a Skrull that Fury and Talos interrogate. Talos and the Skrull get into a fight, and Fury kills the Skrull before he can kill Talos. Gaia has a run-in with Maria Hill and gets away, and Talos meets up with her, and we find out that she is his daughter. He reveals that her mother is now dead, and that it was at the hands of the people she is working for. We transition to a bar scene. This Russian proceeds to tell Fury that he will never be the man he was before. Later we find out this is one of the forms that Gravik takes. Fury and Hill play a game of chess, and this could be where Gravik decides a way he will hurt Fury. Gaia meets with Talos to tip him off about there being 3 bombs. This was a big setup to keep them distracted. Fury sees the little girl who had been staring at him the night before and follows her. She shapeshifts into other forms of people that had interacted with him. It is revealed to be Gravik. He detonates the bombs and many people die. Hill tries to help people and then she runs into Fury, who shoots her. It is revealed that it was Gravik. Fury got outplayed and he feels responsible for her death, and she died in his arms. I was thoroughly shocked by the ending. I was not expecting there to be a main character death at the end of the first episode, and honestly, I was happy Marvel had a bold choice like this. It seems like the MCU has been very predictable in their recent projects, and it was nice to be surprised for once. This show has me on the edge of my seat and in suspense, and I am all for it. The dark, gritty espionage feeling is just what we needed. Moving on to episode 2, we open in Brixton, London in 1997, taking place 2 years after the events of Captain Marvel. Fury is in his early years of planning the Avengers Initiative. He is meeting with a group of Skrulls, and this is where the Skrull Vara introduces him to a young Gravik. We find out Gravik's family was killed by the Kree, and Fury asks the Skrulls to appear as humans while he takes on his promise of finding them a new home. Back to present day, a Skrull who was in the bombing is captured, and he keeps reiterating that he is an American. Talos picks up Fury and they leave. They take a train from Moscow to Poland, and the police are looking for Fury, but Talos covers for him. Fury tells Talos of his childhood and taking train rides with his mom, playing the game Tell Me Something I Don't Know. When Fury would lie to cover the truth, his mom would know everything she needed to know. Fury uses this game on Talos, and he finds out that all 1 million Skrulls who fled Skrullos after it was destroyed settled on Earth, and most of them came over after the blip while Fury was on Saber. Talos says he wants humans and Skrulls to coexist, and Fury says that is impossible. We move on to Maria Hill's funeral. Fury had to tell her mom what happened because nobody else would talk about it with her, and it is a very humbling conversation for him. We learn of some of the current world leaders in the MCU. The UK Prime Minister, Pamela Lawton, NATO Secretary General, Sergio Caspani, and FXN news anchor, Chris Stearns. We see Gravik talking to Gaia and says that he wanted to see what was left of Fury. He says not all of them came back after the blip, and he's basically a shell of himself. We now see the Skrull Council, which includes the UK Prime Minister, the NATO Secretary General, and the FXN news anchor, plus 2 others. Gravik says he believes a war is coming, and the UK Prime Minister nominates him into the wartime leader position, Skrull General. 5 out of the 6 members yield to Gravik, and he lets the other member leave. This is so Talos will hear about what happened. Gaia begins to feel like Gravik isn't telling her everything, and she begins to follow him. She follows him into a room with some energy fields, and this is being overseen by scientists. This is likely the room where the Skrulls will be turned into Super Skrulls. We see Rhodey meeting with the leaders of the other countries. He is being questioned on the whereabouts of Nick Fury. Fury meets Rhodey at a restaurant, and Rhodey threatens to hand Fury over to the Russians. Fury warns Rhodey about the Skrulls, and Rhodey says he's known about them for 15 years. Rhodey asks about calling in the Avengers, and Fury says this is a bad idea because they could get duplicated and then turned into terrorists. Rhodey and Fury have a little bit of an argument, and Rhodey fires Fury. This is where Nick Fury delivers one of the coolest lines he's ever said.
I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in.
Sonya Fallsworth breaks into the butcher shop and she interrogates a Skrull who was at the bombing. She chops off his finger and injects him with the chemical that makes his blood boil. We switch over to Gaia, who is sneaking around the Skrull base, and she accesses their database and pulls up Dr. Rosa Dalton's file, and she finds a list of samples of species that Skrulls have been harvesting, including Groot, Frost Beasts, Coal Obsidian, and Extremists. This is all leading to the creation of Super Skrulls, which are Skrulls who possess the appearance and powers of enhanced beings. Back to Fallsworth, she extracts the information that the Daltons are conducting experiments for the Super Skrull program. Gravik shows up in an attempt to get his guy before he talks. Fallsworth escapes, Gaia calls the authorities and exposes the location of the Skrull's safe house, and Gravik will assume it was Brogan who snitched to Fallsworth. Gravik forces Pagan to kill Brogan, and this forces a bigger wedge between them because Pagan initiated Brogan and wanted to keep him around. The final scene is Fury driving to a house in the middle of the woods, where a Skrull is cutting up some food. When he walks in, the Skrull is now in human form, and it is revealed to be his wife, Priscilla. Her Skrull form and her voice resemble Vara, the Skrull from 1997 who introduced Fury to Gravik. If it is Vara, we can assume that Fury knows his wife is a Skrull. It is kind of suspicious, though, that she turns into her human form when he walks in the house. Just like the first episode, this one kept me on the edge of my seat. I have loved the show so far, and I believe it will keep getting better with every episode. That's all I have for today. Once again, make sure to check out my other social medias. They will be listed in the description below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more Marvel content such as news, rankings, theories, and more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. I love you 3000, and I will see you in the next video.